Welcome back. It's 5:13 here on a Monday morning that's featuring some rain. Before we get into the latest on the tropics, we do have some rain the next couple of days you need to be aware of. Already have some on radar this morning for parts of the North Shore and for parts of areas south of Lake Pontchartrain. Closer look at these showers up in Washington Parish, near Franklinton, getting some rain, and also near Folsom, just north of Folsom there, getting a few showers. Down here south of the lake, not much happening in the city, but a few showers crossing the Twin Spans and also a shower trying to enter Morgan City. So that's what's going on with radar this morning. Our chance of rain, it's there. I do think we'll have a couple showers tomorrow for Election Day, so have your rain gear for your voting if you're going to stand out in any lines. And then all attention is going to be on Friday, Saturday or so. We're watching the tropics, and if we're going to see impacts from this tropical system with some rain and some wind, it would be towards Friday or Saturday. Here's the latest. It's not a named storm yet, but we do think it will be at later some point today. It's 260 miles south of Jamaica. That's just north of South America. This thing is way on down here. The official track strengthening fairly quickly throughout today and into tomorrow and Wednesday. There's Jamaica. There's the Cayman Islands. Near the Cayman Islands is a hurricane Tuesday afternoon. And then we do think it's going to be a hurricane near the western side of Cuba by Wednesday. Now, there are some models that have it a tad stronger than a Category 1. I do think it's going to be a fairly healthy hurricane in the southern Gulf, over warm water, under relatively low wind shear. But as it enters the northern Gulf here, it starts to slow down, and that's when it begins to weaken. So how weak is it once it gets to us? That's the big question. And it will likely depend on how strong it is once it enters the Gulf of Mexico. So we're still in a wait and watch phase, but the general trend will be for it weakening, and hopefully it will weaken fast enough that it's not a major problem. It can happen. We've had hurricanes in the southern Gulf, and by the time they get to us, there's really not much left in the tank for them, and that's what we want to happen with this one. Now, if this was August or September, I would be nervous with this forecast, but it's November, and the Gulf of Mexico, it's got dry air, it's got wind shear, and the water temperatures are cooler in the northern Gulf this time of year. So that's why we think it could go from a healthy hurricane here to a weaker system as that dry air gets wrapped up in it. Look at all this wind shear that's going to be blasting it, and the water temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s off of our coast. So that's why we think it could weaken quite a bit as it nears our area. Once again, water temperatures are warmer in the southern Gulf, obviously, but we've got 70s along our coastline. That can still support a tropical storm, but you know, you're not talking about a Cat 4, Cat 5, or Cat 3 here hugging our coastal area. So the reason it's coming our direction, it's riding around this ridge of high pressure, but as it nears us, the ridge maybe starts to build back in a little bit, and that's why it starts to slow down a tad. So some uncertainty on exactly where it may go in its final path towards the northern Gulf here. So right now, here's my impact from the system. About a 30% chance of rain Friday and Saturday, a stronger breeze, especially with low pressure nearby, and notice still no cold fronts in our forecast. I don't think we're going to have our strong cold front until maybe the middle part of this month. But for voting tomorrow, have your rain gear, a couple showers around. Wednesday and Thursday don't look all that wet, and then Friday and Saturday we'll be watching the tropics closely. Our marine forecast still choppy. Things will begin to improve around Wednesday, but then I think things will go back downhill into Friday as that tropical system nears the area. Monday's high tides are going to happen around midnight late tonight, and your low tides will happen around lunchtime.